former members of the CIA talk about the deep state, right? People think that's just a trendy phrase that you have to be a conspiracy theorist to believe. It'll just get you to stop talking about something that we should be talking about for months and have you focusing on something else. And that is what we saw with the Hunter. And I will 100% be standing behind my children. The U.S. Department of Civil Rights Division to help me when I'm taking over. How did this person get hired to work in front of children? You know, a lot of people are really shocked to see how deluded you have to be looking at an actual photo and to believe that it must somehow be Russian propaganda or be the Russian interest in creating propaganda about. There are judges that are implicated. Amazed me actually when unrelatedly but also relatedly, Tucker Carlson was just speaking in front of a camera and talking about the claims, the allegations that Barack Obama was gay, something that I've known for years, and people were very surprised to hear about it because, of course, there was a media concerted effort to suppress those stories when Barack Obama was running for president of the United States. Let's listen to what Tucker Carlson had to say about that.
2008, it became really clear that Barack Obama had been having sex with men and smoking crack. And a guy came forward, Larry Sinclair, and said, I'll sign an affidavit. And he did. I'll take a lie detector. And he did. I smoked crack with Barack Obama and had sex with him. Well, that was obviously true. Nobody reported it, not because they were squeamish about sex or drugs, but because the Obama campaign said, anyone who reports on this gets no access to the Obama campaign. And so they didn't report on it. So that happens. That's just one small example, but that happens all the time with lots of different issues.
That's a pretty big one. The idea that the President of the United States was involved in having illicit affairs and the media was covering it up. And I'll take it a step further. I'll tell you what I heard. I heard this directly from the mouth of a Secret Service agent whose name I cannot remember, but who worked for Barack Obama and his family. And he said that while Barack Obama was in office, again, this is coming from a Secret Service agent, that they would help sneak young men into the White House. It was not a secret of sorts that Barack Obama was sleeping with these young men, and that was just a part of their job. Unbelievably, the press never found out about this, which happens sometimes. Sometimes you can actually drop off crack cocaine at the White House, and they don't know who did it. So yeah, the government can be super hush-hush when they want to be, and of course the media will help them bury those facts. But let's go backward, because apparently this clip of Tucker Carlson is going viral because people had never heard it. They'd never even heard about Larry Sinclair. They never heard about his testimony. If they did hear about it, it was dismissed. They problematized Larry Sinclair himself. And I want to be clear that Larry Sinclair has some problems. Yes, he has problems, a lot of financial ones. He's been accused and convicted of fraud, credit card fraud, things of that nature. But he was pretty clear when he repeatedly said over and over again that he had engaged in a homosexual affair with Barack Obama. He was pretty clear when he said that he had had sex with then-Senator Barack Obama in Chicago. And he was willing to even host a news conference about it at the National Press Club in Washington on June 18th, 2008. So don't take my word for it. Actually watch this video, which has largely been buried, and let me know what you think about it. Take a listen.
In regards to the Obama incident, I flew out of Colorado Springs, Colorado to Chicago on November 2nd, 1999, arriving in O'Hare early in the morning of November 3rd. I went to the Chicago area to attend the graduation of my godson, my best friend's son, from basic training from the Great Lakes Navy Training Facility. I made reservations at the Comfort Inn and Suites in Gurnee, Illinois, based solely on the location to the training center. On November 5th, 1999, I hired the services of 5-star limousine. Excuse me. I had hired them both for November 5th and November 6th of 1999. On November 6, 1999, I asked the limo driver, whose name I now reveal for the first time, Jair Paramit Mutani, if he knew anyone who would like to socialize and show me Chicago. Mr. Mutani understood that I was looking for someone who knew Chicago and would enjoy socializing. Mr. Mutani said he knew someone who was a friend of his. On November 6, 1999, after picking me up at the hotel in Gurnee, and this is significant, Mr. Mutani used his cell phone to make a call. That call was made to then Illinois State Senator Barack Obama to set up an introduction between myself and Senator Obama. Upon arriving at the bar and exiting the limo, Senator Obama was standing next to Mr. Mutani, and I was introduced to Senator Obama by name. Later that evening in a bar which I believe was called Alibis, and I state believe because I have failed so far to get Citigroup to provide the credit card receipts that has the actual name. I mentioned I could use a line or two to wake up. Senator Obama asked me if I was referring to coke, and I stated I was. After stating I was, Obama stated he could purchase cocaine for me and then made a telephone call. This too is significant, from a cell phone to a presently unknown individual, during which Senator Obama arranged the cocaine purchase. Senator Obama and I then departed the bar in my limousine and proceeded to an unknown location where Senator Obama exited the limousine with $250, which was provided to him by me. Returned a short while later with an 8-ball of cocaine, which he gave to me. I did ingest a couple of lines of cocaine, and shortly thereafter, Senator Obama produced a glass cylinder pipe and packet of crack cocaine from his pocket. Obama then smoked the crack cocaine. I performed fellatio on Senator Obama in the limousine during the time Senator Obama was smoking crack cocaine, after which I had the driver take me to my hotel, the Comfort Suites, Gurnee, Illinois. The following day, November 7th, 1999, Senator Obama appeared at my hotel room, unannounced, uninvited, where we again ingested cocaine and I again performed fellatio on Senator Obama.
Sorry, that's a commercial.
Do you believe him? That seems remarkably detailed. It seems that if you were a meaningful journalist and you were in front of him at that news conference, you could have easily fact-checked those things. You could have asked for those credit card receipts. You could have gone to then Senator Barack Obama and asked him to counter those claims. Hey, actually, Barack Obama, where were you on that night that this man claims that he was performing fellatio on you? I'll tell you, I believe him. I believe him because, as I said, in follow-up stories, speaking to a Secret Service agent, they could all but confirm that Barack Obama was gay and that it wasn't really much of a secret when he was in the White House. And of course now, what's also happened is an ex-girlfriend of his has come forward with a letter written from Barack Obama detailing his gay fantasies that he had with men, saying that he would choose to be publicly heterosexual, but behind the scenes, obviously, that he fantasizes about men. So this isn't a secret. It's never been a secret, but it was yet kept from the general public. Why? That's the interesting question, because, I'll be clear, it doesn't really impact my life if Barack Obama is a flaming homo. Probably doesn't really impact yours, but as a country, maybe I should ask the question, why did the media cover this up? Were they afraid that we weren't going to vote for a gay man in 2008? Is that the reason?
Well, I kind of feel like, yeah, it does matter. It matters on so many dang levels. It's weird to me that people would pay more attention. For me, from my perspective, I don't know why anyone would pay more attention to, like, how he specifically is. Shoot, sorry about that. Like, why would anyone pay attention more to his sexuality than, per se, his, his drug use? Like, to me, that's more concerning. The fact that this happened in 1999 and he was still smoking crack cocaine, he said that he was smoking that crack when he was a kid. Okay, and I think a lot of people voted for him under that pretense that he was really smoking crack as a kid. Thinking of it this way, you look at the past presidents before that, and they would say that they did drugs in the past, but they didn't do it for a long time period afterwards. That was their claim. And from many things, many people thought that that may have been true. Who knows? But that was kind of like the reason why a lot of people, I think, were more likely to, have a mentality where they, were gonna be more open to voting for him if they knew that he was smoking the crack pipe right then and there, or 7 years before. They would have not voted for him. That's just one issue. I mean, I think that's more concerning when we talk about becoming president than actually whether he likes girls or guys, because when you think of being president, it's a stressful job, okay? So if you're already smoking crack before you're president, what are you going to do during? Are you going to get on heroin, fentanyl, meth? I don't know, but I mean, like, it's very possible, obviously, to do any of those things when you're already on crack before you're president. I'm just saying. So, I mean, like, I would think that would be more concerning than whether the guy was gay. Now, there's some aspects to this whole situation of the story with Barack Obama that would be concerning. Like, for example, some people may not like the fact that he was married, and if this is true, and I believe it's true. Reason why I believe it's true is because, well, he wrote it to his own ex-girlfriend, and I have a feeling that that's what he probably tells his significant other, those kinds of things, which actually opens a whole can of worms of how I actually view his wife more than I view him particularly on this, because I mean, like, but I'll get into that later. My thing is that, some people, who are okay with gay people don't have an issue with, gay marriage or gay people and their relationships and things of that nature, But one thing that's not legal and what's not accepted is polyamorous relationships, especially among bisexual people. It's always been expected that they basically pick a side or pick a lover, basically, that they're that they fall in love with and love enough to commit to, despite what sex they are. Or maybe it's their preferable sex between the two, whichever way they make that decision, basically. But that is the expectation with bisexual people. And I feel like with this situation that that's a whole layer of it. On top of, someone being gay, it's not particularly that it's defaming the sanctity of marriage, and that is regardless of what kind of marriage it is. But cheating is, seen as a whole different layer to it. And then on top of it, you're saying that some Secret Service member may have said that he cheated while in the White House. Well, so it's crazy how far we've come, honestly. 20 years ago, I mean, like, we had that whole situation with that one president, Clinton, and now we have stories about our ex-gay presidents, like our gay ex-presidents or whatever may have had gay relations in the White House. I don't know, that's just interesting. But, to me, as far as does it matter why they suppress it, because they wanted him to be elected. And over half of his voters would not have voted for him. And being completely honest, over half of his voters would not have voted for him, regardless of the whole gay thing, the whole crack thing. If you're on crack less than 10 years ago, it's safe to say you're probably on crack now. I think crack was a part of his life, and it was just his norm, and that's what he does. I don't think he ever stopped. It's safe to say he never stopped, because if he so cavalierly, readily did crack cocaine in a time where he's not in a stressful situation, he's just, a regular family guy, and he's still on crack. You could safely say when he was running for election, for presidency, and so forth, with all the stress, most likely he was still on that crack and probably on that crack really hard. So, to me, I mean, like, people would not have voted for him knowing that he was smoking crack in 1999. It would not even have to do with the whole gay thing. But, I mean, at the gay thing in there, there's going to be a good portion of people who wouldn't vote for him because he was gay, and then there would have been a good portion of people who would not have voted for him because that kind of dynamic of a marriage, even if the woman is agreeing to it, it's still frowned upon. It's still seen as, you're defaming, you're making a joke of your marriage. Many people may not want that kind of person president because regardless of if you're married to a man or a woman, at the end of the day, you're still cheating on that person. You're not committed to that person, at least physically, So that's one concept of it. Now, another thing I thought was interesting, like, about the whole thing with Barack Obama and stuff, like, I don't know. I think I may have heard of that story slightly at one point, just a little bit, but not deeply, and I really didn't get too much of the story or, like, see the testimony of that guy or anything. I didn't obviously know about the letter of his ex-girlfriend where he's admitting that he is a gay person or a bisexual person or however way you want to put it. But yeah, I personally didn't vote for him, so I mean, I'm just pointing that out. But yeah, I like, on the concept of, oh yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about his wife. I kind of feel like, this is a telling thing about, like, how some people are willing to pretty much get with people who will give them, power, fame, and all that shit, even if they will disrespect them, their commitment, and never really actually want to probably even be committed to them in the first place. People are willing to be used as long as they can get someone who is successful. And I think that is because in some cases like that, I feel it's because they don't think they're worthy enough of finding someone who is actually successful, who's willing to actually commit to them, in the case of Michelle's case. So that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to react a bit to Candace Owens' video on Obama being gay and my thoughts on it. Like, some people act like, oh, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. And the fact that they suppressed that information was a big deal. Honestly, the McCain family should have a fit about this. Because literally, if that would have come out, McCain would have been president. I am happy that he wasn't, because to me, with Republicans, I don't like Republicans becoming, I don't like Republicans winning if I don't like them, basically. And I know that might seem weird because I am a Republican. You would think that I would want someone who is a Republican to specifically win over a Democrat because I am a Republican. But that's not how it works for me. Reason why it doesn't... Oh, shoot. Okay, it's still on. Sorry, guys. The main reason why I specifically am like that is because I like the Republican Party to burn, basically, and to basically get taught, basically. They never learn, and I'm okay with that. If you never learn, you never win. And that's how I kind of feel about it. Like, if you're not doing what I want, I don't want you to win, because you're just going to keep on doing exactly what I don't want. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would not have wanted McCain to win, but I'm just saying, if all that story that we just talked about came out, he definitely would not have won. It is a terrible look, also, I wanted to say, on the fact that first black president had to be the first crackhead president. Now that's fucked up. That is fucked up. That's why, to me, I mean, like, the crack. is something to be more concerned about, but the gay is concerning too, because I mean, like, some people say, like, oh, look at all the policies that happened under him and so forth, that had to do with LGBT people, and for me, I am a bit liberal on LGBT issues. I'm not very conservative on them anyway, so I don't really care too much. Like, I care about the bathrooms being safe for women, sports being safe for women. Um, I think I've always had this mentality because I guess I've always been very supportive of gay marriage, but I grew up in a very homophobic household. And because of that, I've always had this mentality, let the homosexual be the homosexual and let the homophobe be the homophobe. The homophobe being the homophobe is not hurting anyone any more than it is for the homosexual to hurt anyone, for that matter. I don't think anyone should hurt anyone, obviously. But I do think everyone has a right to freedom of speech. They have a right to, they have a right to refuse service, I believe. That's how I feel. I mean, for their own business and so forth. I do think. And I think homosexuals have a right to refuse service too. I mean, if someone isn't accepting of them too. I mean, I could go both ways. To me, that's just how I feel about that. But, so I do have some slight conservative issues, but I'm still very, I'm still very pro gay marriage, and I think, like, it's your body, it's your choice when it comes to, like, transgender people. What they want to do with their body is what they want to do. I just think that let people be how they want to be. If someone doesn't want to see someone as a man, then they don't want to see someone as a man. That's just how it is. Whether that person was born a man or not, if another person doesn't want to see them as a man, that's their choice. They can see them as a fucking duck. That's their opinion. Like, to me, I don't really care, like, on that basis. You can't make people think anything, That's just my view on that. So, that's all I have to say in this video. I just, wanted to basically give my 2 cents on Barack Obama coming to light as a gay person by different sources so far. Supposedly 3 sources: his ex-girlfriend, his ex one night stand or fuck buddy, I don't know what you want to call it, and she even said a Secret Service member, which I'm not too sure about, but the other 2 I've heard plenty of times. They even have the script of him writing to his girlfriend, telling his ex-girlfriend, but girlfriend at the time, that he is bisexual, basically. So that's all I have to say in this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Bye, guys. I'm trying to... Okay, stop.